Merry Christmas, everybody. Hopefully, you're home or wherever you may be, sharing a wonderful Christmas or holiday season with your friends and family. Hopefully, you're not watching this video on Christmas, but if you are, I appreciate you. Hopefully, you'll find some joy in this video, whether you watch it on Christmas or at your convenience. I appreciate you sharing some time with me. Today, of course, I thought I'd deviate from my normal content, which is real estate and mortgage information. And instead, I thought I'd share today Peter Diamandis' most recent email, which is titled the top 10 breakthroughs of 2024, because they're just so, I want to say inspiring, but so hopeful. Peter Diamandis, of course, is a famous visionary, futurist, entrepreneur, founder of the X Prize Foundation. He's everywhere. He's Mr. Futurist, and I really like him. I encourage everybody to subscribe to his newsletter. Unfortunately, I can't give you a link to it because it's delivered into your mailbox, every week, and there's no link that I can find. Although I will provide a link to his general website so you can check him out. But let's get started. Let's talk about what he thought were the top 10 breakthroughs of 2024, which should inspire and give hope to mankind, kind of thing. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the newsletter. There it is. You can see it now. Let's go through the 10 things. I'll be quick so we can get to the Christmas festivities. All right, so number one, 2024 breakthrough was OpenAI's 4.0. But really, what he talked about in the post, it's not really about 4.0. It's about Project Strawberry, which is the next iteration of ChatGPT, and that it is far more advanced than what we have today. It's like crazy advanced. He talks about all the things it's going to do, how much exponentially more powerful this next version of ChatGPT is going to be. And then he comments how, Sam Altman would grade Strawberry once it's released as a 2 out of a 5 of what ChatGPT will be able to do. And by the way, the next model is like 100x of what we currently have. So that's crazy. So that's number one. Number two is this whole humanoid robot revolution. And he has written so much about this. It's incredible. The gist is all sorts of companies, including Tesla's Optimus and Figure and other companies like Apptronic and Agility, have created these humanoid robots, and soon these robots are going to be able to function almost like a human. They can do all sorts of things. You'll be able to train them. They're self-learning. They're language-based, so you can talk to them. They're going to, they'll work 24/7. You'll teach them how to vacuum your house, cook your clothes, clean your clothes, cook your food, do your bills, do your budgeting. It's just going to be incredible. They'll be incredible in factories. As a matter of fact, quite a few people, I forget who the most famous one, estimate there'll be more humanoid robots in 10 years on the planet than there'll be humans. Huh? Is that crazy? And there's all these wild speculations, or 2040, by the way. There's all these wild speculations, but like Elon Musk and Brett Adcock think there'll be as many as 10 billion robots in 15 years. Now, the robots, when they first come out, some of these leading ones will come out soon in the next couple of years. They're gonna cost somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000, and if you're gonna lease them, it'd be about $300 a month. But like I said, they can work a 100-hour work week, so there's no end in sight. It's really interesting if you want to read, if you were to find this article and click through. He actually just did a white paper on humanoid robots. It's fascinating why they've had advancement. There's 5 reasons. Really fascinating, but one of the things that could change the world. Number 3 for 2024 breakthroughs was Google's quantum leap with the Willow revolution. And if you guys follow quantum computing, quantum computing is like 1,000x to our computing power today. And the reason why is in our computing today, the code is either a 1 or a 0. But in quantum computing, it could be any number. And so it's highly dynamic. And it's able to have much quicker and deeper thought. It's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, as everybody read in the news a couple weeks ago, that quantum AI just completed a calculation in under 5 minutes that would take today's fastest computer 10 septillion years, which means forever. I mean, we couldn't do it with our current computer, we couldn't do it, but with a quantum computer, it did it in 5 minutes. Now, the challenge with quantum computing is that it's very error prone because it lets it make leaps in decision making. Those leaps lead to errors. And so the key thing about Willow is that it's starting to reduce the error. They'll never get the error down to zero, but they'll be able to minimize the errors. And once they do this, these computers are unbelievable. Interestingly enough, it's also a question whether they'll break Bitcoin because they can break the code. I don't know if that's the real thing or whether it matters, but nevertheless, number 4 on 10 great breakthroughs this year. Number 4 is Elon Musk. He's repeatedly on this list. Created Colossus. Colossus is a new AI system. Elon's company took 122 days to create the largest computer cluster in the world with the most computing power in the world. It's unbelievable. It boasts of having 100,000 liquid-cooled NVIDIA H100 GPUs, 100,000 of them. Like, that is a crazy amount. Elon's trying to double it to 200,000 in the next few months. And more than likely, Colossus will become probably the most familiar generative AI system within a few months. And who even knew? I mean, all these new systems, like we started with ChatGPT, and then we got Perplexity and Gemini and Claude and AIs in every technology. But look out for Colossus. Next is, this is really amazing. Scientists at Howard Hughes Medical Institute were able to completely map the neurons of a fruit fly. And a fruit fly has about 54.5 million synapses that they'd have to map. If you compare that to a human or a larger organization, we have about 100 billion neurons. But the fact that they could do the 140 neurons, next they'll probably work on a monkey or something, or a mouse. They'll do a mouse, and a mouse has 1 million neurons. But they're going to be able to map every single thing. They're going to be able to figure out how the brain works. Because today, as we know, our brains only use about 10 or 12% of our brain power. They have no idea what happens with the other 88%. Well, they're soon going to know every single thing that happens inside the brain. And that's going to be just fascinating. Number 6, of course, is the spaceship's historic landing using chopsticks. Really what this means is SpaceX has been able to build reusable pieces to their rockets so that their turn time between missions, instead of being years, can be months or even days. And once they start doing that, that's when you think you'll have interplanetary transportation, when you can have shuttles going back. Think of like planes between New York and Boston. They leave every 30 minutes. Well, if you can have spaceships leaving from wherever those planets or the moon is, that you can start to have interplanetary populations. Now, that's hard for me to understand, but there's no doubting that SpaceX has changed the world. So that was number 6. Number 7, Neuralink's blind sight, curing blindness, and much more. So as we know, Neuralink, which I believe is another Elon Musk company, they were able to implant a chip device to bring back vision to someone. That's only going to increase. There's all sorts of crazy stuff happening with chip implants and using technology to help people with all sorts of thinking, seeing, neural problems. More on that later, but super exciting. Number 8 is Starlink. Right now Starlink has some sort of crazy amount, 7,000 satellites floating around the space, which is starting to be able to provide Wi-Fi to everyone in the world. It's doing all sorts of other stuff, but super crazy, changing the world we live in. Number 9, which you may or may not know, XPRIZE HealthSpan. XPRIZE has a $101 million prize for the first company that can demonstrate advances in lowering health by 20 years. So what it is, if you're 70, that can lower your health to 50, or if you're 60 to 40, or 50 to 30. And there's actually quite a few companies getting close to having the breakthrough to reverse aging. That just sounds crazy. I get it. All this sounds crazy. I'm a simple person. It sounds crazy. But you know what? It also sounds hopeful, and that's what I'm sharing with you on Christmas. Number 10, of course. This is another interesting thing, and all this has to do, there's a total breakthroughs in medicine. Another breakthrough is AI-designed proteins that revolutionize drug discoveries. Not only does it revolutionize drug discoveries, but it makes custom drugs. Things that you couldn't do in a lifetime, it can do in minutes. So that if you have a particular type of cancer, it can discover it, figure it out, get a recipe for it, a prescription, and fix it. It's unbelievable what's happening. And this really comes from the Nobel Prize winning work of Alpha Ford. But there you go. Those are 10 breakthroughs that are happening that will change our lives. And so I thought that I'd share that on Christmas. I hope you're having a great Christmas. Nothing else, just Merry Christmas. I appreciate you checking me out. Thanks so much. Have a great day.